beautiful soul, and welcome to Yoga with Concha. My name is Concha, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. And don't forget to click that little red subscribe button down there right below this video. And if you're already here and you've been on my channel, welcome back, honey. So as you can see today from the title of this video, today we're going to be talking about boundaries, and we're also going to be getting into a little bit of this EFT tapping, something I've been getting into that has been really helpful, really amazing. So I want to start this video by saying that, nobody is inherently bad, right? Nobody is inherently a bad person, right? We all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted for who we are. We all want to feel, that love and nourishment. And it's challenging because, right now we're in a time where we're around a lot of different personalities. We're around a lot of energies. And it's challenging because, we have our own things to deal with, but so does everybody else, right? And so sometimes it's nice to think about that other person in a loving way and just give them compassion for their journey, because a lot of people have not learned how to communicate their needs, to communicate their desires. And so sometimes, we end up blowing up, or sometimes that other person ends up blowing up. And because they didn't speak up before it was a 10, or they didn't speak up before it was an 8, 9, or 10, right? So sometimes it's challenging because we want to speak up, but we're not sure when to, and we're not sure how to, and we don't really even know what to say when we do speak up. So I want to say that, nobody is inherently a bad person. Nobody is inherently just, that nasty person. Actually, usually those people have been through so much that they really need that extra love. Okay, so yeah, I was really inspired to do this video because, we've been doing our amazing monthly women's group here where I live in the Bay Area. And it was so powerful. This last round was so powerful. So we were kind of getting into this whole new moon in Capricorn, right? Capricorn is all about structures, success, our goals. What do you see as success, right? Success can be career success, right? That's the one we think of most. It can be, I have a very successful relationship. I have a very successful love life. I have a very successful family. I have a very successful, that I'm writing this book, or whatever it is that your goal is, right? That is success. Success doesn't necessarily mean that you're super affluent and wealthy, although that is an aspect of success, right? Absolutely. So with Capricorn, it's really that we're getting our structures in place, right? We're getting ourselves into this organization, and we're really finding a way to create our goals and to attain those goals, right? Not just think about them, but attain them. And the cool thing is that, we have this Jupiter moon, which, if you know anything about Jupiter is really cool because, that is like my homie planet. That one's all about the mysticism, the magic, right? This, magical fairy dust sprinkling everything, and it's gonna make everything work. So with these two combined, we're really being asked by the universe to think of what is our goal? What does success mean to us? And how can we think outside the box to something that we might even feel is not attainable? Because let me tell you, the thing that tops all of this off is that it's an eclipse. And eclipse basically means that it's like everything is on steroids. So all of this very magical, auspicious, healing energy over your success is being magnified by the eclipse. So guess what? It's time for you to think really big and to move forward with your plans, right? Because Capricorn is about taking action, right? And I know because, I'm a Taurus, so I'm all about that steady action. Sometimes as a Taurus, I will tell you that, I do get caught up in moving maybe a little bit too slow sometimes, but it's because, I'm a very methodical kind of person. I don't like to be super hasty in my decisions. And let me tell you, for me, that's worked out. For you, you might be one of those signs that is like a fiery sign, or you know the way that you move. Well, basically, you got to be moving in a way that feels good for you naturally, your beautiful, authentic energy, moving natural for that, but also not stalling, not being too hasty, right? There's a balance in between. So what I want you to do right now, if you want, you can even pause the video, is I want you to take a moment to think of what that goal is for you, right? Let's pause. Let's take a moment, right? I'm gonna take a few breaths. So let's take a deep breath in. Open the mouth. Good. See, that's the cool thing about having a yoga channel is that, we can incorporate this yoga, this breathing, and with this tapping, and maybe even stretching, rolling out the neck to get into our body and to really feel, okay, what is this goal? What is my goal? What is success to me, right? What does that look like to me? And so, we were in this women's group. I had everybody, I'm like, okay, I want you to write down, we're going to take 5 minutes. And if you want to take 5 minutes and pause the video, go for it. But don't be going and scrolling through Instagram and looking for another video to click on. This is time for you to take good care of yourself, right? So I want you to take this 5 minutes to think of, what does this success look like to you? What does this goal look like to you? What is this looking outside the box? And what is kind of feeling even unattainable? Now, as soon as you got that written down, I want you to write down now, what is stopping you from attaining that goal? And I'm going to give you a few moments, right? Let's take some breath, right? Take a moment, write it down, or get it logged in on your memory. And really ask yourself, what is stopping me? What is stopping me from attaining that goal? What is stopping me? What is hindering me? Whatever it is. Okay, write it down or think about it. And give yourself the quality. Give yourself this moment to really do this for you. Okay, and then I'm going to share with you my findings because, it was very profound to be in this women's group and to really get clear on all of this stuff. It was really amazing. One more breath. Right? And even if you feel like, oh, I know this is stopping me and that's really frustrating and annoying, that's okay. Just be with that sensation because we're going to work through it with our tapping. All right. So what I've noticed, and we got these awesome booklets in this women's group, right? That we were hosted by this group called Well by Kaliva, and it's basically this amazing CBD shop. Anyways, this video is not sponsored, but I am talking a little bit about them because basically they supplied all of our beverages, which was amazing because we were able to really relax. So that was really cool. So thank you, Well by Kaliva. We love the beverages. I felt super relaxed after this, but when you're relaxed, you're able to tune in and ask yourself and get to the bottom of it. So what I had noticed with all of these women in the group was that everybody had realized that boundaries, it was all about boundaries for them, right? So I wonder if that resonates with you. Is it boundaries? And I wrote down a lot of the things that they mentioned in this group. So a lot of their boundaries was, because right now is a big time in holidays. So we sometimes feel responsible, right? One of the women in the group felt responsible for the emotions of her family. So if that's you, take a minute to think of, why am I responsible for the emotions of my family, right? They have, this is taking responsibility for your own emotions, right? Taking responsibility for your own well-being. Remember that you're not responsible. You can help, you can put yourself out there, but it's not your job to fix anyone because that's their journey, right? So and that was definitely me for a long time too, is that I knew I had the capacity to help people. And so I always wanted to help my family because, I love them so much. I don't want to see them hurting in pain. So I would always take it upon myself until I was like, actually, I need to establish myself and then help, right? It's like you're in the airplane's going down. You got to put the mask on you first and then your child or whoever else is next to you. Okay. So these are some of the things that we went over around boundaries, right? It's okay to take care of myself first. It's okay to be, some people will call it selfish, but it's not selfish when you got to fill your cup up, right? And one other person said that they felt bad for seeing themselves as good, as great, right? To honor yourself, right? They felt bad about that. They felt bad about seeing themselves as good. They felt bad about seeing themselves as beautiful, right? So it's about owning who you are, taking ownership of yourself. Another woman said that she had a really hard time asking for help, right? So that's another boundary where maybe we're blocking people off from helping us, from giving us assistance, right? Because sometimes when we want to help others, we go out of our way to help, but maybe they didn't even ask for help, right? So at least ask for that help, ask for support. It's safe to ask for support, right? Another thing is, how am I getting my needs met, right? One woman, she noticed that even though she didn't know how to say no to people, she was giving too much of herself. There was also a prize in there because in giving so much of herself, she was needed by those people. She was needed and she was loved in that dynamic. But this is the thing, you can untie those knots and find people who are going to love you if you're helping them or not. Okay, so it's okay to look at the dynamic. You don't have to do anything about it if it feels like too much for you to do right now, but maybe even just see, oh, where am I at in this situation? Like, is that me? Right? How am I getting my needs met? How am I getting my needs and my wants met? Because sometimes we get those needs met in healthy ways or unhealthy ways, right? And so in the beginning of this video, I mentioned that nobody is inherently bad. Nobody's a bad person. It's that we all have needs and we're all trying to get those needs met. And sometimes we have developed these patterns that have helped us when we were a kid or that have helped us when we were in school. But now it's time to unlearn that and relearn something that's going to be more beneficial for you and everybody else and not have you feeling so depleted, right? So there's an aspect of self-care and recognizing your needs, recognizing those needs, and also, you know what? Speaking up those needs before it's a 10. Because when it's a 10, you're going to be blowing up, you're going to be so upset, and the other person's going to be like, what the heck is going on? So what has helped me, there's a really awesome book called Nonviolent Communication. That one will break it down. That's a really great book. Another thing for me is realizing, okay, when it's at, when you're at a 10, you're at a 10, right? But maybe you're at a 7 or an 8, and then you're realizing, oh my God, I'm encroaching this 10. And then soon you'll go from a 7 or an 8, you'll start realizing it at a 3 or a 4, and then you'll start realizing it at a 0. And what you can do in between those stages is you can say to the other person, hey, you know what? I'm realizing that I'm at a 6 right now, or I'm at a whatever right now, and this is what I'm feeling. That doesn't mean you have to do anything about it, but maybe you just want to let them know, hey, I'm feeling this way. I'm not really sure what to do about it. Maybe I can come back to this. Maybe it'll be resolved on its own, but I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just letting you know it's just not feeling right. Something's unsettled with me right now. Okay, and that's a really good tool. Okay, another thing is your boundaries and saying no. Saying no. It's safe to say no. Let's say it again. It's safe to say no. So sometimes we want to be the people pleaser because there's a lot of benefits to being the people pleaser. All right, there's a lot of benefits to saying yes, even when you want to say no, right? The benefits are that you might feel more loved, you might feel more appreciated, but in the long run, guess what? You are dishonoring your inner gut. And when you dishonor that so much, you get used to it. And people get used to, taking advantage or whatever it is. But really, it's not that they're taking advantage. This is a really fine line, because on one hand, they might know they're taking advantage, right? They might be knowing that they're taking a little extra step, but the reason why they feel comfortable taking that step is because you are not comfortable saying no, or saying, hey, you know what, let me come back to that, right? One of the girls in there mentioned that she has a really hard time saying no. And so there's a tool that I have used in the past, which is, you could say this, hey, you know what, that sounds like really a lot of fun. I would love to do that, but let me go check my calendar. Or, you know what, let me check in and just see how I feel about it, and let me get back to you. And that's a great way to say no if you're really not comfortable saying no. That's a great first step to really saying, actually, you know what, that doesn't sound good to me, and I'm going to say no, but you know what, I still love you anyways. You got to say no, no matter what the way you say no, you got to say no, because you got to honor yourself. Okay, so what I want you to do when you're thinking of what your needs are, or what your no's and yeses are, and this has been really helpful for me, is take a moment to sit down. We can take a moment right now to sit down and to think about these aspects of your body, right? Okay, so we can start with our heart first, right? Because I'm very heart-centered. I love to be heart-centered. That's my superpower. And that doesn't mean you're a doormat if you're heart-centered, right? That just means that you got a lot of love to give, baby. And sometimes, you got so much love. Some people can't handle it. But you know what? You just got to learn to work with those centers, right? So anyways, back to the main point. Take a moment to sit with your heart and to see what your heart says about saying yes or no, all right? When you get clear on what your heart says, go to your throat. Ask your throat, what does your throat think about that? What does your throat feel? There's a consciousness in there that's ready to speak up, right? And then you can go to your ego mind. What about this? Where are my needs? How are my needs getting met, right? You're talking to your ego. You're negotiating, right? It's not about pushing the ego to the side. It's about integrating the ego. Okay, and then we want to go from the ego to our gut. And you can do these in any order. And so you get to your gut and you're thinking, okay, what's my gut saying about this? How does my gut feel? Maybe my gut is a little uneasy, but still unclear. That's okay. At least you're getting clear on getting clear, okay? And then you want to go to your sacral, your sexual body, your creative body, your, the fun side, right? At least that's for me. That's my fun side, right? She's just coming out. And see what she or he says, right? That could be a male in there. I don't know. And then go to your root, right? Your root, your space for being in your body, your groundedness, right? Am I going to feel good in my body if I do this? And when you get all your centers going, you're feeling into all your centers, that's when you can move forward and make that decision and know for sure. And you can even think about it like this. Am I going to please that other person and their centers, or do I need to honor my centers and build my relationship with me? And it doesn't mean you have to be mean to them. It doesn't mean you have to be rude. Say it in a loving way, right? There's a finesse to it. So when you say it in a loving way, you got this, okay? Because that's when you're a superstar. You're literally a full-blown human when you can say no in a loving way. When you can be that balance, right? It's like, I'm getting my needs met, I'm getting their needs met, we're doing this in a feng shui, right? It's a beautiful balance, it's a harmony. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tap it out, everyone, okay? So we're gonna tap it out. So what I want you to do is, I'm gonna show you, I'm not gonna say I'm not the pro tapper, but I'm also not the pro tapper, okay? So I wanna get your hand and we're just gonna start tapping on the hand. And I want you to just think of all those emotions that get brought up. And let me make sure my computer's on so that my light doesn't turn off. You know, we gotta have the light in here. Okay, so we're tapping right now, bringing up all these emotions, right? Bring up all the emotions of frustration when you haven't been able to speak your boundaries. Bring up all the emotions of maybe guilt for speaking your boundaries, upset, maybe even upset that you said it the wrong way and you felt like you could have had more finesse to it. Bring up any energy where you feel like you need permission to speak your boundaries. Bring up any energy that says, I'm exhausted to think about everything I have to think about while getting my boundaries in order. Any energies that are not feeling good, bring all those energies up right now, right? Just tapping on your hand. Let's take a deep breath in and let it go. Good. If you like one more breath. Good, good, good. And then we're gonna start tapping on our centers, okay? So starting at the top of the head. Even though it's been really challenging for me to speak my boundaries in a loving way, or even speak my boundaries in the past, I'm gonna love, honor, and respect myself. Even though it feels like I have a lot to learn, I've got so much to go, speaking up in a loving way, in a harmonious way, I'm gonna love and accept myself. Even if I get put into some crazy situations that I don't know how to handle, and let's say, you know, I don't know how to handle these situations. Maybe it's intimidating. Maybe it makes me nervous. No matter what happens, I'm gonna love and accept myself right here, right now. I'm going to ask my energy centers how they can feel supported as I move through utilizing these new boundaries I'm learning. Even though it's been hard for me maybe to ask for help, I'm going to make this a smooth transition, asking for help. And I'm going to love and accept myself through the whole process, step by step. Even if I keep messing up, even if I keep getting frustrated, even if it's been such a challenging journey for me, I'm going to love and accept myself. I'm going to own who I am. I'm going to set the burden down right now. And I'm going to love and accept myself. I'm going to allow myself to see myself in the highest light and the highest energy. And it's safe to do that now. I don't have to please anyone else. I don't have to do anything that doesn't feel right in my energy centers. And by listening to myself, I'm going to love and respect myself, no matter what, if I do it or don't do it, because I'm going to know that this is just a journey that I'm going through. Even though it's been really challenging to recognize my needs, to differentiate my needs versus other people's needs, I'm going to love and accept myself as I learn what my needs are, as I listen to my energy centers more often, and let this be a smooth transition as I create this smooth transition to speaking my needs in such a loving and compassionate way. I'm going to love and accept myself, honey, right where I am. I'm going to allow myself to set boundaries and expectations so that other people know where they can meet me in a feel-good way, where I can meet them so that we both feel energized and revived when we connect with each other. And I'm going to love and accept myself. I'm going to take care of myself first and set my tone. And if it feels good, I'm going to take care of other people as well. But right now, I'm just going to love and accept that I'm learning this journey right now, right? And it's safe to do this. I'm taking ownership of myself. I'm taking full responsibility of my energy, of my emotions. Even though before in the past it may have been challenging to think of, how am I getting these needs met? Am I getting these needs met in a healthy or unhealthy way? Maybe it's even a challenge or frustrating to dig down and to find out what that means. I'm gonna love and accept myself. I know that this is just a journey that I'm on, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm gonna get better every day. And right now, today, I'm gonna love and accept right where I am. Because I know that even though it's been a challenge, I'm gonna get better. And I'm already doing better. And I'm already feeling a little bit better about this. So let's relax the hands. You can keep tapping if it feels good. And let's take a deep breath in. Beautiful work, everyone. Take a moment to roll the neck out, to roll the shoulders out, to release anything from the shoulders, any burden. To know that, you know what, you're responsible for you, and you're only responsible if someone asks for help. You can freely go give them help. But don't be trying to help to distract from your own stuff, okay? Because it's safe to look at yourself right now. And it's safe to move forward powerfully, okay? So we're gonna start today, and I know you got this, okay? So hope you all have a wonderful rest of your holiday season, and I will see you all again very soon, okay? Namaste.